everyone. I'd just like to leave us with a few pieces of information that I would have learned from my approximately 10 years of working as an Associate Clinical Psychologist. These are just some tips that I think have really helped me to manage my stress level as we're dealing with this global pandemic of COVID-19, because mental health is definitely important. So the first thing is that fear is totally natural. Fear is a natural response. So it's okay if you're feeling a little afraid right now based on what's happening globally. Imagine if your house was on fire. Chances are you'd hurry up and get out of there, get your mother, get your father, get everything that you consider to be important and leave that house. So it is an expected response if you're feeling fearful. The thing that we want to prevent though is fear taking control of how we think. Because if we're not careful, it will consume us. We've got to remember that we are in control of the fear. You are in control of the fear. The fear does not control you. Yeah? The second point is that our body does have a natural stress response, but it may have negative consequences if it goes on for a prolonged period of time. So when I speak about stress, I'm really referring to the response that we give to any situation or experience that we consider to be challenging. So the challenge could be an exam coming up, it could be a big phone bill and you don't know how you're going to pay it, or it could be what we have now, the threat of COVID-19. Those are challenges. Another term for those are stressors. So our stress is our reaction to those stressors now, and how we interpret those challenges is also important. So when we're having a stress response, our body will respond physically. So there are certain centers in the brain, the amygdala, the hippocampus, which send off certain signals, causing adrenaline and cortisol to be released. Our heart rate goes up, our blood pressure goes up, even our blood glucose levels go up because our body's saying, okay, Marsha, I need to protect you. There's a danger coming up. We need to give you energy to deal with this. So that's the physical response. We can also react to stress in an emotional way, in terms of feeling maybe more sad or irritable. It can impact on us cognitively, where we may even start to think negatively about our ability to deal with it. So we may think, oh my gosh, we can't deal with this, maybe I get sick. A lot of cognitions going on through our minds. Stress can also impact on our behaviors. We may become more aggressive, or we may even become socially withdrawn from persons that we love. So stress response is okay, but it is when that response happens for a prolonged period of time that we start to have challenges. And research does show that as our stress levels go up, the functioning of our immune system, which we need to fight against illnesses such as COVID-19, goes down. So if we're not careful, the stress and the negative impact of it can get to us before COVID-19. It is said that when we are stressed, we are more likely to become ill, and it increases our risk of getting things like hypertension and even heart attacks. So that leads me to my third point. We need to learn how to manage our stress. And a simple way that I use to manage my stress is by literally practicing some deep breathing. So let's take 3 deep breaths. But we're going to do it slowly. So every time we breathe in, we'll do it for the count of 4. And when we breathe out, we'll do it for another count of 4. Okay? So just imagine that your lungs are balloons. And every time you breathe in, they're going to swell up as they're being filled with the air. And whenever you breathe out, they're going to come back down as the air is released. Alright? So let's do it slowly. Breathe in. In, out. Last time, slowly in and out. And just stay with the breath a little bit. Remember, you want to do it slowly. And it is something that you're going to want to practice for a period of time. Maybe 5 to 10 times. You can do it in the mornings and in the evenings, or whenever you're feeling particularly anxious. But practice it, because practice does make perfect. Okay? So I do hope that you have learned something from our brief discussion on some information and ways that we can manage our mental health even as we are combating COVID-19. Remember, you got this. You will get through this. Be blessed.